At Precision Safety Consultants, we are fully committed to the prevention, preparedness, and effective response to critical incidents within our schools. We believe safety is more than simply having a plan on paper. It is about ensuring every staff member understands their role and can respond with confidence when it matters most. Our mission is to help build safer learning environments by strengthening awareness, improving coordination, and preparing teams to respond decisively under pressure. Guided, scenario-based discussions provide school teams with the opportunity to work through realistic situations in a controlled environment, allowing participants to evaluate decision-making, communication, and response strategies before a real emergency occurs. Tabletop exercises offer significant value by encouraging collaboration, clarifying roles and responsibilities, and reinforcing communication protocols. These exercises also help identify vulnerabilities that may not be apparent in written plans alone, while giving teams the opportunity to refine response strategies without the stress and chaos of an actual incident. It's a normal Tuesday at Liberty Middle School. Students are transitioning between classes and staff members are conducting routine operations. At approximately 9:15 a.m., Ms. Jones, a teacher in room 703, was walking towards her classroom and observed an unattended backpack located near the south cafeteria doors, across from the 700 building. Ms. Jones said she originally saw the backpack at that location when she arrived at school this morning, but as she walked by it, the backpack looked suspicious. Ms. Jones said the backpack had duct tape around the backpack, and it appeared bulging. Ms. Jones immediately notified the front office of her observations. At this stage, staff members do not know whether the item is harmless, forgotten property, or a potential threat. The following map is an overview of Liberty Middle School. For this tabletop exercise, use this school map and layout for discussion purposes and decision-making. Please pause the video to review the previous section and the following questions. What should the teacher do immediately upon discovering the suspicious backpack? Who should be notified first? Should anyone approach or inspect the backpack? What information should be gathered initially? What school personnel should respond? How will nearby students and staff be managed? What indicators would increase concern regarding the backpack? What documentation or communication procedures should begin immediately? As administrators and the school resource officer arrive, additional concerns begin to emerge. The backpack appears unusually bulky. An administrator, who walked up to the suspicious backpack to get a closer look, reports seeing wires partially exposed from inside the bag. Students nearby are beginning to gather and record videos using their phones. Anxiety among staff and students begins increasing rapidly. Please pause the video to review the previous section and the following questions. What concerns do you have? What indicators elevate this incident from suspicious to potentially dangerous? What immediate safety actions should occur? Should evacuation, shelter in place, or lockdown be considered? How large should the isolation perimeter be? Who contacts law enforcement and emergency services? What information should be provided to dispatch? How should students with phones and social media be managed? How should staff communicate without creating panic? The situation escalates further when the school secretary receives an anonymous phone call warning staff to clear the building before something bad happens. The call was extremely brief, and the caller was a male voice, which sounded disguised. The caller ID said unknown caller, and the caller would not allow any further questions to be asked before he disconnected. Within minutes, rumors begin spreading on social media platforms. Parents begin calling the school seeking information, while traffic congestion develops outside campus entrances. Teachers are requesting immediate guidance, and students are becoming increasingly anxious. Discuss crisis communications, command coordination, evacuation considerations, accountability procedures, and parent management strategies. The following map is an on-campus evacuation map for Liberty Middle School. Off-campus evacuations are not depicted on this map and are confidential until an off-campus evacuation is deemed necessary. Refer to this map if there is a decision to evacuate. There are 2 evacuation locations. The first evacuation location is the practice field, which is referred to as Evacuation Location 1, which includes the evacuation location for the front office building, the library, media center, 600 building, and 800 building. The second evacuation location is the soccer and football field area, which is referred to as Evacuation Location 2, which includes the evacuation location for the 500 building, 700 building, cafeteria, kitchen, gymnasium, and locker rooms. If you need additional time looking at the evacuation map, feel free to pause the video. Please pause the video to review the previous section and the following questions. Does the phone call change the threat level? Should evacuation now occur? Should an off-campus evacuation be considered? What evacuation routes are safest? Where should students and staff relocate? How will accountability be conducted? Who handles parent and media communication? How will traffic and reunification concerns be addressed? What agencies should now be involved? As we move into this section of the exercise, take a moment to evaluate the situation from both a safety and decision-making perspective. Consider the information available, the potential risks involved, and the actions that may be required to protect students, staff, and visitors. Remember, stand-off distances play a critical role in evacuation decisions, including who should evacuate, the safest evacuation routes, and the selection of appropriate evacuation locations. Feel free to pause this video to further discuss the questions and discussion points. Question 1. What should staff do before, during, and after an evacuation? Discussion point. Remain alert and continuously observe for potential dangers, including suspicious individuals, vehicles, secondary devices, or other threats. Question 2. What factors should be considered when deciding to evacuate? Discussion points. The proximity of the hazard to occupied buildings and classrooms. The distance between the hazard and evacuation locations. Safe evacuation routes in relation to the hazard. Question 3. What should be considered when determining evacuation distances? Discussion points. Estimate the size of the suspicious object and use the bomb threat standoff card as a guide. In this scenario, the backpack is comparable to a briefcase or suitcase with a potential explosive capacity of up to 50 pounds. The mandatory evacuation distance is 150 feet for anyone inside a building or structure. According to standoff guidance, individuals inside a building may be able to shelter in place between 151 and 1,849 feet from the object, while anyone outdoors should be at least 1,850 feet away. Standoff distances significantly impact evacuation routes and relocation areas. In some situations, sheltering inside a protected building or structure beyond the mandatory evacuation distance may be safer than evacuating to an outdoor location. Law enforcement has established command near the school campus, while bomb technicians respond to the scene. Officers request critical information including surveillance footage, witness statements, building maps, and accountability updates. At the same time, a student reports seeing an unfamiliar adult near the hallway earlier that morning, adding another layer of concern to the investigation. Please pause the video to review the previous section and the following questions. What information is most critical to provide law enforcement? Who serves as the school liaison to incident command? How should witness statements be collected? What areas should remain secured? How should special needs students and staff be managed? How will accountability continue during extended operations? What operational challenges may emerge if the incident lasts several hours? The incident ultimately reaches resolution as bomb technicians complete their assessment of the suspicious package. Whether the item proves harmless or dangerous, the school's response procedures, communication systems, coordination efforts, and decision-making processes are now subject to evaluation. Please pause the video to review the previous section and the following questions. What aspects of the response worked well? What challenges emerged during the incident? Were communication systems effective? Were staff roles clearly understood? Were accountability procedures successful? What policy or training improvements are needed? How should emotional recovery and support be addressed after the incident? What follow-up actions should occur after the exercise? Today's tabletop exercise highlights the importance of rapid reporting, effective communication, coordinated decision-making, and strong partnerships between schools and emergency responders. Suspicious package incidents create uncertainty, fear, and rapidly evolving conditions that require calm leadership and disciplined response procedures. Preparedness begins long before an emergency occurs. Policies, training, drills, and relationships established beforehand often determine how effectively an organization responds during a real-world incident. This exercise should be used to identify strengths, gaps, and opportunities to improve overall preparedness and response capabilities. Thank you for participating in this tabletop exercise. At Precision Safety Consultants, we provide comprehensive, multi-layered solutions designed to significantly enhance school safety. The exercise you've just completed represents only a portion of the services we offer to help organizations prepare for, respond to, and recover from critical incidents. If you found this exercise beneficial, we encourage you to like and share this video across your social media platforms to help others improve their safety readiness as well. Precision Safety Consultants is committed to delivering effective, practical, and cost-efficient solutions that support prevention, response, and recovery efforts in today's evolving threat environment. If we can be of service to you or your organization, please don't hesitate to reach out.